Welcome to the It's Your RV podcast. It's hosted by Keith Shomaker, co-owner of Redlands Truck RV, and Brad Killgore, owner of Custom Shops Marketing. We created this show to connect the RV repair world, provide trusted resources if you're starting a repair shop or you're just trying to grow one. It's also a great resource for RV owners to find out the latest developments in the industry. This podcast dives deep below the typical surface level content that you may be used to seeing. Listen to our show on all streaming platforms. And if you have any questions or need a referral, reach out to us. We'll be glad to help. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Brad Killgore here with Custom Shops Marketing for the next episode of It's Your RV podcast. And I'm here with my good friends, Keith Shomaker and Karen Shomaker from Redlands Truck RV. How are you guys today?
Good morning. Fine, thanks.
Good.
Great, Brad. Thanks for having us.
Good. So, as always, the goal of our show is to bring value and share new ideas with RV owners, because me being a longtime RV owner know that there's always new stuff. There's always things that could improve my coach, and there's always things that maybe I don't understand because I am not a mechanical person, or I cannot fix my own RV very well. It's not going to go well. So I have personal experience of bringing my RV to Redlands to have them help me with things more than once. And Redlands RV has been around for over 50 years, and these guys know their stuff. They've been doing it for a long time, and they go out of their way to make it amazing for you. So with that, I figured today we talk a little bit about, some of the latest and greatest things that are happening for different parts and different things that you might need for your coach, and then also some of the service upgrades and different things like that. So I'll turn it over to you guys and let you tell us a little bit about what you got.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Brad. And when you talk about customers and the Grove, they will inevitably, whenever they arrive in short order, they'll be meeting Karen quickly, and they'll see where our customer service comes from. Karen epitomizes compassion and taking care of people and making sure they're comfortable. Especially, when it comes to their RV. Karen understands pets and all that good stuff. So she really is the heart and soul behind the customer service at Redlands Truck and RV, for sure.
And maybe Karen can give us a little insight. I know we've touched on it in past episodes, but Karen, maybe give us your perspective of the Grove and what that means to people and what it really is.
Wow. Well, thank you for those kind words, Keith. I know for sure that the Grove has given us, the Grove is our RV park, and where you can stay with us while we're doing repair on the motorhome. And while the motorhome is at the shop, you get to have the access to our lobby. And the lobby has TV and Wi-Fi and has wash machine and dryer, and yes, a restroom, but no shower at this point.
Loaner car.
Yeah, the loaner car that we provide had started when we been doing the tow packages and attaching, the Blue Ox and so forth. We're going to have your vehicle for some time, so we give you our vehicle. And then when there's other reasons why a car needs to be loaned out, we make sure and manage that happens for the customer. Because
I have a question for you. Do you remember the first car we used as a loaner?
God, I hope it wasn't my 61 Corvair. I don't remember.
No, it was Grandma and Grandpa's Buick.
Oh
that
God,
Dad drove.
terrible.
It was
Hey,
like
that car was awesome.
it was like a 91 LeSabre or something.
It was
I
a
don't know.
boat. It was a boat. But I think,
It got stolen once.
oh yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. But I think in the end, with a customer that knows that they have access instead of the powerful word of waiting, being a waiter, that means it gives them the opportunity to take a deep breath, to literally think outside of their box, because their box is all concentrated on repair, the total amount, the length of time that it's going to take, and
Getting
it's
back on the road.
tremendous amount of thought process that happens. So to see the customers relax, to see the customers get together in the end of the evening at the RV park and have their little wampum meeting or hors d'oeuvres, it's
Happy hour.
that just, I can't tell you, I'm smiling from ear to ear when I see that, because they're safe, they're comfortable, they're having fun, and then the next day starts and they have something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Well, and after personally staying there at the Grove, while some repairs were being done on my motorhome, my wife and I, like you say, it's just a very, very relaxed atmosphere there. You have full hookups, including sewer. There are pull-through sites, and you've got fresh fruit trees on site for oranges and lemons, and then you can walk to the grocery store, to the new brew pub, to restaurants. Everything is right there. And then you're behind a gate, so it's a remote gate, so you have that for you as well, so you feel safe and secure. And I've traveled the country and had repairs done at different shops, and I've never encountered anything like what you have at the Grove.
Right on.
Wow.
And Brad, think about it. If you're in a position like you say you are, where you're not comfortable working on your own coach, it's frustrating to have to make an appointment with a large dealer and have someone, not understand what you're trying to do, that you're living in it, you have pets, you have a doctor's
Mhm.
appointment in a week and a half, 600 miles away. Um, you find out really quickly that you're not a priority in their business, when you pull up to their service bay. And you know what? Backing an RV up and pulling out of someone's shop is sometimes not an option. All of us that are working
Mhm.
on motorhomes and RVs, all of us are crammed. We all need another 10 acres to put all the stuff that we're working on if you're a good shop. But
Mhm.
what Karen has been able to bring is that the peace of mind. I laugh. I went to Burning Man, I don't know, whenever I went, 2010. And the first thing they say to you is welcome home. And so Karen welcomes them in, and says, hey, everything's going to be okay here. Welcome home. It's all good. Relax. Let's get you set up. We'll help you get plugged in. And then it's a whole different world. And I get it. And you know what? Karen mentioned it, waiter. Every single one of our customers is a waiter. And that's really difficult to manage. And definitely have to give all of that credit to people like our general manager, Mike Bronzini, his team, Will, Jeff, Dan. Dan's the one that cleans your windshield, and makes sure everything's okay every day,
Yeah.
when you're staying with us. So really the goal of the Grove is to get your coach in the morning, get your work done, and then get it back to you by early or late afternoon so that you can spend the night in it.
Mhm.
And if we need to
Yeah.
do some more work tomorrow, then we kind of repeat the process.
Right. Well, and I remember I was having some issues with my slide, and one of your technicians literally came over and was able to adjust it without even moving the motorhome. He was able to get
Right.
underneath there, take care of it, and we were actually working from the coach that day, and we weren't even disturbed at all. We didn't have to move the coach. We didn't have to do
Yeah.
any of it.
Yeah. Karen, I
Yeah.
know Nelson and Ruth took off yesterday or Wednesday. Yeah, yesterday. How many live-ins or how many waiters are in the RV park this morning? I haven't been in the shop yet,
That's
Brad.
true. This morning, for our live-ins, we have that are full timers, and they're just waiting at the early morning to have the rigs moved over or set up to where we're going to start working on them. Today, there would be at least 5, and
Yeah.
out of the 11 spots, there's 2 available, but those will soon fill And I know it looks tremendous. You should never judge that book by its cover, is what I tell the customer, because we're usually staging a unit that is already done. And then Great Dan, I'm telling you, he is the one that oversees all the entity of the work that was completed. And yes,
Quality assurance.
yeah, and cleaning that windshield is the cherry on top, I think, because then it gives everybody a clear view of exactly what it's about in order to be able to get that service and
Well,
trust it.
imagine if you pay 1,000, 100, 1,000, 10,000, whatever you're paying us to do whatever work we're doing, and you go to your next stop and realize that the oil's not up on the dipstick or the coolant's low or you have a flat tire, you're the first thing you think of is like, hey man,
Yeah.
I just had a bunch of work done at this place and they didn't tell me about this, they didn't look at it, they should have said something, it leaves a bad taste. So we realize that, and we treat our customers like we want to be treated. If we go somewhere, we want to be taken care of. We want to pay a fair, decent rate, and we just want to make sure that our coach gets done correctly. And Dan is huge to make sure that we do it right.
Right. Well, I
We're
remember
lucky.
people asking, what does it cost to stay there? Well, it's part of the service, that
Yeah.
it's for customers only, and there is no additional cost to stay there when you're having your coach work done.
And we are expensive. There's no doubt about it. I have to be honest, sometimes it's shocking and embarrassing, but it's just the world we live in. But I will tell you that, for every dollar that someone gives us for service, I guarantee you that we're giving them 2 or 10 or $20 back in, uh, it's not a free stay. It isn't, but it's this RV park is like nothing that anybody else has. And it's so convenient. Yeah, we're doing shocks for you. It costs you money, but here you are at this RV park that's paved. And I don't know if did we have it paved when you were there last, Brad?
I don't think it was
It
paved yet.
wasn't.
So we paved it, and it's unbelievable difference. I should have done it from the very beginning. It's so much cleaner, no dust. Um, we're another update that we're doing is we're pulling in. I just bought a 20-foot platform, working platform, OSHA approved, so we can now do awnings and toppers and air conditioners and side, roof work. This platform will be 6 foot in the air, so the guys don't have to use ladders anymore. That's my point.
Mhm.
We've been using
Sure.
ladders to climb up and down coaches to do awnings and
Yeah.
toppers, air conditioners, and it's unsafe. It's
Takes
it's
forever.
wieldy.
Yeah.
It's clunky. It's two people on different levels. So now we got this one level platform that 2 to 4 people can work off of as a team. So it's we're excited about that, and that should show up probably within the next week or two.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, and I have to piggyback off what you said about price. I always think of when it comes to a repair and upgrade on my coach, it's an investment.
Yeah.
And I also felt, my personal experience, I thought the pricing that I received was fair. So, it is what it is. It's not a cheap date to have a high-end motorhome or any motorhome.
Right.
So you get what you pay for, is where I was going with that.
Very true.
Yep, and we protect your investment. That's why we use nitrogen in tires. That's why we want to get on your roof and inspect your roof for you. We don't want any leaks. You know, uh, one of our offices at the Grove had a roof leak, and it made the entry door swell to the point where you couldn't open it. And you know what? We cannot allow that to happen on a motorhome. That was my negligence on my part. We did get hit with some heavy rains, but water inside of a roof on a motorhome, man, that's difficult. So, we have to protect their investment, and that's what we're there for.
Sure, sure. So going forward, what would you say are some of I know we've talked in the past a little bit about some of the upgrade services you offer, whether that's Coney shocks or Safety Plus and what have you, but what's kind of coming down the pike as far as different things that you would recommend owners to look into.
Yeah. And Karen, being a pet lover, I know that she likes this on her RV is the micro air Wi-Fi thermostat, and I should have one to hand you and you can see. But this is a Wi-Fi thermostat that we can put in your RV, and as long as you have internet connection, you can be anywhere, 1 mile away, 10,000 miles away. I don't know about intergalactic, but you can be anywhere you want, and you can communicate with the thermostat on your RV. You can turn your air conditioner on and off. You can set limits, schedules. You can have it send you an alarm if it goes over 80 degrees. You can pick a temperature, and it's really amazing. I've used it personally, and it works. Um, what I like is if you have pets, obviously, you can go for a walk and be gone for an hour versus maybe having to cut your walk short before because you didn't have access to what your coach is doing or the temperature inside. I like being able to turn it on and off. So if you're an hour away from your RV, and you're arriving, you can turn the heat on or turn the air conditioner on. It just really, really amazing new product that's allowing us to utilize the updates and technology that are out there. Liquid Spring is coming out with more and more applications. They're on F series as well as E series, as well as the F53. So Liquid Springs being that uh, hydraulic, electronic, computerized suspension, very robust, really amazing. They're really making some big changes. So we're excited to be part of what they're doing as well. Coney just came out with Evo Shock. This is a shock absorber for the Ford and the Freightliner, two of your most popular chassis. This shock is larger in diameter, so they say, and I haven't driven it yet myself. It's soon to happen here. The word is that it's even smoother. So we bragged that Coney shocks give us 60 to 80% better ride comfort, and so I'm guessing that we're in the 90 plus range in terms of percentages of having the coach being quieter, smoother, easier to ride, easier to drive. Just one of the greatest things you can do. What's something that has been out for a little bit for the Ford F53 chassis is the Super Steer radius rod kit for the front springs. There's been a lot of internet chat on changing positions of a anti-sway bar link, and we've actually uncovered those in the field where they're broken because of the positions being changed. Uh, the objective for the changes to an anti-sway bar on a Ford is to make it stiffer. Anyway, the Super Steer kit, this radius rod kit, actually does all that, does it properly without having to change positions on a link. And we have noticed a tremendous difference on the Ford F53 using the Super Steer radius rod kit. And if we go back to Quartzsite, it was a success out there as well.
Right.
I know that at the shop we're doing more and more things internally. We're looking at coach comfort stuff that we can provide on a better basis, whether it's interior cleaning or whatever it might be. We and Karen, here she is. She's the one that's listening to the customer. She's the one that's there talking to them at the Grove. And if they have a request or something that we're not doing, she brings it to our attention. So it's like this wonderful vital loop that we all share.
Right. I know you guys do the remote control shades for the interior.
MCD.
Some of the yep, MCDs and some of the other safety features. There's a lot of things inside the coach that people don't even think about safety wise that I know you've touched on before that are important.
And you know what? I'm going to do it again. I love my safety stuff because this is free. The fire extinguisher that's in our RV, the little 2.5 pounder from Kitty, or whatever size it is it that came with your RV that's right by the entry door. It's probably a brick. You know, the stuff inside is probably solid. I personally would get rid of it. I would buy two more fire extinguishers, a little bit larger size, and I would put one right there by the door, but I would get another one, move it into the bedroom of your RV. And if your RV is 5 or 6 or 7 years or older, I would get into the safety devices, the smoke detector, the propane, and I would replace them. They all have lives. Some of them are 110, just like they are at our house, but also 12 volt, and they have batteries. Some of them are odd and different, but they all need to be working and they all have a life. So if your coach is coming up on the 5, 6, and 7 year range, that's something that you can look at yourself. And it doesn't bother us, it doesn't bother me. Look at it, get the part number of it, and match it up, and go on Amazon and buy it and put it in.
Yeah,
You know, it's real straightforward. And honestly, you just saved yourself 200 to 600 bucks probably at our facility for us, for us to do that kind of thing. And some coaches have 3 detectors. So anyway, renew your detectors, put more fire extinguishers in.
Yes.
it's huge. Yeah.
Yep.
We're
So,
very fortunate. We at the shop and at the Grove, we're diligent. We make sure that our stuff is up, and I'm knocking on wood that we haven't had an incident where it's needed a fire extinguisher or any sort of response. We've been very, very lucky. However, at the Grove, you spoke of citrus. There is a uh, requirement that the citrus doesn't leave the yard. So there's a Asian fruit fly that lands on the leaf and becomes an issue in transportation. The fruit itself is not affected and it's good. So you can eat it, but they just don't want us to pick it yet and take it somewhere else. So
Yeah.
right.
no problem.
Interesting.
But,
And
but I
Karen,
do have to I
go
do
ahead.
have to share that it is a beautiful view of all the citrus, especially looking at the mountains that are
Yep.
all packed with snow right now. It's beautiful at the Grove.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and Karen, your office is right there on site at the Grove. So like
Mhm.
Keith was saying, you're the front line. You're talking to people all the time, finding out what they need and being there to help them out. And I think that that's awesome. Did you have any input on that as far as the fact that you're there the most out of everybody?
I think in the end, when there is somebody that pays attention and checks in on somebody that's already set up in the lobby and make sure they knew that they could turn on the air conditioner or heat, I'll pop my head in, introduce myself real quick, but I rarely tell them who I am per se as far as owner. And I don't do that purposely. I just do it because I want them relaxed and I want them to know that they can be relaxed. In most cases, if they're not sure what they can and can't do, especially the fruit. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've had to invite them, please pick the oranges. But in this case, this season, this year, it's you can pick them, eat them, but just don't leave with them. And I just find that's like one additive other than them having to do laundry or something that just gives them a chance to just take a breath. And
Mhm.
because waiting again is never been anybody's virtue, but I'll tell you when you're relaxed and that makes it a world of difference. And that's when it's fun to be able to just chat. And when we're chatting, that's when I find out that they are unaware of the many things that we have to offer as service. And as it used to be, we would tease my mother, Keith more than me, of course. Ma, you're gonna wear off a set of lips because that is what she was. She could tell you in so many different ways of what we did, and it's virtually things that you would never in your life picture. You're here for just a service, but the guy next to you is getting his awning done and or the slide fixed. Oh my
Or
gosh.
painted.
The customer is like, oh my gosh, I have an appointment already at another shop that I have to go to in order to do that same thing. And right away, it's like, well, let's go talk to the service writer if you'll allow us to help you out, to take care of that because you're here for something else, but we'd love to be able to assist if that helps you. And most cases it does. Why? Because then that's one last place that they don't really need to go and travel to, because I'm sure it is a travel. So it
And
is fun to be able to just find that out.
And Karen, what's
Right.
interesting, like when I'm at a seminar or courtside or wherever I'm out, people come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, I broke down in Sacramento." And I'm like, "Oh, it's horrible. I'm sorry. What happened?" They tell me the story and they say, "Oh, but it was okay. They let us stay in a little section of their yard." I go, were you locked in?" "Oh yeah, we couldn't get out once we got in and we didn't want to walk around. Did you have power?" "No, we didn't have power." And it's amazing that, most people say, "Hey, it was okay." And then I realize what we offer and the ability that the customer has to come to a great shop and get everything done that they've ever wanted on their RV. It's probably in that same statement, they're like, "I didn't know you did that too." And we say, "Yeah, we do tires, we do paint, we do MCD shades, um, the other new thing that you'll see quickly is you will note that you will know when you park at the Grove that Keith and Karen are the owners. We're going to put up a little poster and it's going to have us on there, but we're also going to have information recommending products. We want you to consider, if you haven't, we want you to have a great ride. We want you to have that super smooth Tony ride. We want you to have a Safety Plus steering stabilizer. If you have a Freightliner or a coach with air chassis, we want you to have motion control units and more power. We have a
Right.
PDI, we have a diesel performance module from PDI. It's legal, it's legit, that gets you an unbelievable amount of power plus another set of gauges. So, there's
Right.
all kinds of things that
You're
especially when you're
right.
walking around the Grove, people are like, "Man, I had no idea you did that."
Yeah. And Brad, let me insert the reason for just those recommendations is if it were our mom and dad driving, we would know for sure that if they had these upgrades that are, yes, upgrades, but a ultra safety performance and a smooth ride and so forth. I would love that for our parents because then we know that they're not getting exhausted driving a distance. And when you have to oversteer a rig that just cannot stay right on the road and just beats you up, a lot of people, I have to admit, probably say, I don't know why I bought this. It's a lot of work. Why not take all that out of the picture and then give you a chance to see how a big majority of full timers are sustaining a wonderful life on the road and calling home wherever their wheels stop or where the RV stops. So that's what I think is most important is that it is highly recommended and we'll talk about it so we can show you not products just by themselves, but how they fit onto the rig and where they're located. It makes a big difference.
Go to the Redlands Truck and RV website and go to pull up Chassis Pro and pull up your chassis. We have it.
Yeah.
If you have a Sprinter, we can show you what you can do for your Sprinter. You got a Ford F-53, we'll show you there. If you don't know what you have, text us, call us, we'll help you.
Yeah, it's all right
We're
there.
we're, we're gonna take we'll take care of the customer like we would have taken care of our parents if they were out there. If we were lucky enough to have them still with us and they were out there
Sure.
RVing, we will take care of you and your parents like we would have taken care of ours. So anyway,
Absolutely. Well,
I'm
and
gonna
I think
start
a lot
crying
of,
in a minute.
Well, and I think so much of it is education because a lot of people just don't know. They don't know that these features are out there. They don't realize that they can improve the ride of their coach and the safety of their coach. And I think it's important that they're able to find out more and see and really learn about the things that are important.
And I like our approach. I know that I'm bragging, but I like our approach. Brad, you mentioned it. Getting RV service isn't one of your favorites, and I get it because the service advisors want to tell you what they want to tell you, and that's it. Oh, we this or that, or do this, or no, you don't want to do. And you're like, oh, man, I just came in here and I wanted some stuff done, and this person is telling me that I can't, or they wanted me to do something else. This isn't the kind of way that I wanted this interaction to happen. With us, you're in charge. You're in charge of that interaction. You go on our website and look at all the stuff that's available for your coach. Get all your questions answered. Or if you have more questions, then ask us and we'll help you understand it. We go back to the investment. Yeah, this every time we do shocks, it's $1,600 or shocks and a safety plus. We're at $2,400. We're at $3,000. We're at $5,000. This stuff all works and it works remarkably. It doesn't work a little bit. It works unbelievable. It's like that's the best $1,000 I've ever spent. That's the best 10 grand I've ever spent. And hopefully that we made sure that their oil is topped off and the windshield's clean and all that so that they come back. But we're in this to get our customers to come back. That's everything we do is a relationship builder, and that's hopefully our customers get it and they go they bypass their thought of, oh, I don't want to drive into California. So to answer that, we are in the Inland Empire. We're Redlands. We're not deep into Los Angeles or any of that stuff. Yes, we have traffic, but it's usually just traffic times, commuter times, workarounds for everything. Actually, if you want to come to the Grove or the shop, Mountain View is a better exit for our customers. If you ever want to look them up, you're going to miss the train. There's a commuter train that runs up and down our exits. It does sometimes delay people if they get off at California or Alabama, but there's anyway, if something needs to be adapted, changed, or improved, we're on it because we want to take care of our customer. It's all about making customers, building relationships, and seeing you again. That's what we really want. That it excites me when I see a customer again. They look at me funny, like they don't. They say, "Hey, you don't remember me," and I go, "No, I remember you. I just don't remember your name." But
Right.
that's very warm and welcoming, especially when they tell us, "Hey, man, this is my second or third time at the Grove. You guys did this and this for me last time. You told me I should do this and this next time, and that's why I'm here." I'm like, right on. Glad we could
That's
help out.
That's excellent. Well, like you said, with personal experience, man, just popping off the 10 freeway right there. I mean, I had a 40-foot RV and it was just, effortless. Just get off the
Did,
exit, boom. It's not even a mile or so, and you're at the Grove.
did you guys have a tow car? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's a pain, man. You can't back up when you're towing a tow car. The tow bars don't allow. In fact, they hate it. It'll do bad things. I've seen some people try, but most of us know that we can't back up. And that's this discerning, like, hey, where I park this thing is where it's going to end up. And that's why we have plenty of room for the customers when they come into the Grove, to get them all squared away and make it easy. That gate opens and you're like, oh, I get
Yeah.
this. I see,
And the pull
you pull
throughs.
around, yeah, pull through, pull around, like, babe, we're going to be okay. Yes,
Yep.
we're going to spend a bunch of money on tires, and these guys are probably going to talk us into some shocks but it's okay. We're at the
Yep.
right place. And
Yep.
you know what? People know about tires. I'm glad I brought it up. We have fresh dates on tires. We're not, we don't have tires that are years and years old that we're trying to put on our RVs. We go through a lot of tires. Uh, last outing, quartzite, I want to say 140 tires, something like that. That's a lot of tires in 6 or 7 days. We do the same thing at the shop. We go through a lot of tires, so a lot of our stuff is fresh and ready to go. And we have customers that say, "Hey, man, I want to see the dates. I want to see my tires, all 6 of them, before you put them on." No problem. We bring them out like a fine steak at the House of Prime Rib, and here's your 6 tires. And I get it. I would want to do the same thing because, hey, man, some of these tires are $500 and $600 and $700. Now there's 6 of them. Oh, wait a minute. My coach has 8 tires because I have a tag. All of a sudden, this is an extremely expensive purchase. And it's just tires that are going to only last between 6 and 8 years, or thereabouts. Anyway, I digress. But, everything we do is to put our customers' mind at ease and to give them a good reason to come back.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, I think that with that, we can wrap up for the week. I would suggest that anybody that's watching the replay of this sees us on our social media pages for Redlands, leave a comment of what subjects and topics you'd like us to talk
Yeah.
about next time, and
Yeah.
we'll do our best to answer your questions or go with your thoughts. So. With that, guys, I appreciate your time and for really lighting up the day for It's Your RV, and we'll wrap up with that.
All right. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to It's Your RV podcast. Our goal is that this information was helpful for you and that you will share and subscribe to our podcast. You can also follow us on our YouTube and social channels.